Have you ever felt like life is challenging you with seemingly insurmountable difficulties? How many times have you wanted to give up, let life take you away because you see no way out? If so, it's time for you to stand up, face yourself, and turn those obstacles into paths to success. Here we're not just talking about overcoming challenges, but daring to challenge yourself. Daring to stand up when you're knocked down, and daring to look straight at obstacles to turn them into opportunity. Our channel is not for the faint-hearted, not for those who seek ease. We're here to hone your character with you, help you become stronger every day. If you really want to change, really want to rise up, then click the follow button and become a part of this community. We won't sit still and wait for miracles, but together, we will create miracles with action, with will, and with unshakable determination. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Join us. Share your stories, face challenges together, and leave your mark on the path that you have chosen. Then one day, you will look back and see that the obstacles you once feared were the steps that took you to the top of glory. Let's walk the path of those who dare to be different with us. There is a Zen story that I want to tell you. It is a story about a king. This king was not an ordinary person. He always thought about how to make his people stronger, tougher, and overcome all difficulties in life. He believed that ease and comfort would weaken people, while hardships were what trained the spirit of resilience. One day, he decided to place a giant rock in the middle of the main road leading to town. This rock blocked the path. No one could pass without stopping. Then, he hid himself in a secluded place to observe the people's reactions. One by one, they came, saw the huge rock blocking the road, and were all angry. Some cursed the king, blaming him for leaving such an obstacle in the middle of the road without cleaning it up. They muttered a few words, then turned around and looked for another way. No one dared to face the rock. No one dared to stand up and solve the problem. They just waited, hoping that someone else, perhaps someone stronger, more powerful, would come and solve it for them. But the king still patiently observed, saying nothing. He knew that if someone kept clearing the way for him, his people would never grow up, never learn to face the real difficulties in life. Then, time passed, and still no one stepped up to solve the problem. Until one day, a man appeared. Unlike the others, he did not turn around and leave. He stood there, looked at the rock for a long time, and then decided that he would do something. He had no supernatural powers, no great power, just an ordinary man like everyone else. But he had something more important than anything else: determination and a sense of responsibility. He found a large stick, used it as a lever, and tried to pry the rock out of the way. It was not an easy task. Sweat was pouring down his forehead, his arms were aching, but he did not give up. With each swing of the lever, the rock gradually moved. Finally, after much effort, he succeeded. The rock rolled out of the way, opening the way for everyone. But the story did not end there. Under the rock he had just rolled away, there was a bag of gold. The gold coins glittered in the sunlight, and attached to it was a piece of paper with the king's words, "Never forget. Inside every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our situation." You see, life never rolls out the red carpet for anyone. Successful people are not those who avoid difficulties, but those who dare to face them. They do not wait for someone to come to their rescue, do not expect ease. Instead, they throw themselves into the work. They face challenges, and they find opportunities in the most difficult things. Maybe you are facing an obstacle in your life. It could be a difficult job, a stressful relationship, or even a health challenge. You can choose to step back, give up, like those people who turned their heads before the rock. But remember, it is in those difficult moments that real opportunities appear. Stop and think. Is there a bag of gold waiting for you under the rock? It may not be real gold, but it is maturity, mental strength, valuable lessons that you will never have if you do not dare to face difficulty. Opportunities never appear in easy places. They always hide under the shell of difficulties and challenges. And only those who dare to face, dare to remove obstacles, can find them. So, next time you encounter a rock blocking your path, do not be discouraged. Remember the story of the brave man and ask yourself, is there an opportunity waiting for me under this obstacle? And if you have the courage to explore, who knows, you will find your own bag of gold. When you face an obstacle, how do you feel? Are you afraid, discouraged, or even want to give up? I bet that, like many others, you have felt like this at least once in your life. But did you know that it is precisely in those moments when you are faced with a seemingly insurmountable difficulty that you have the greatest opportunity to make a change in your life? To understand this better, let me listen to the words of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a great Stoic philosopher. He said, "The obstacle to action spurs action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It sounds simple, but it has a terrible power. Because when you face difficulties, it is how you react that determines whether you will be pushed back or move forward. Imagine you are walking on a familiar road. Everything is going smoothly. But then, suddenly, in front of you appears a large rock, blocking the way. What will happen? Some people may sit down, cry, and lament the unfairness of life. Some may turn away, looking for an easier path. But if you really want to rise, you will have to face that rock. You will have to use all your strength, intelligence, and patience to overcome it. And when you do, what happens? You have not only overcome an obstacle, you have discovered a new path. A path that not everyone dares to walk. You see, difficulties are not what stop you. They are what challenge you, forcing you to find the potential within you. When you push the rock out of the way, you not only create space for yourself to continue, you also open up a new path. A path only for those who dare to face it, dare to challenge it. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He led the Roman Empire in the most difficult times when everything seemed to collapse. But he did not let those difficulties defeat him. Instead, he used them as motivation to move forward. Because he knew that every time he overcame an obstacle, he not only became stronger, but also moved his empire forward. So can you. You too can turn difficulties into opportunities if you are truly determined. Don't let obstacles discourage you. Think of them as challenges that life sets out to test your mettle. Do you dare to face them? Do you dare to use all your strength and will to overcome them? If the answer is yes, then you are ready to turn obstacles into your own path. Never think that difficulties are the end. Difficulties are just part of the journey, and every time you overcome a difficulty, you are one step closer to success. Remember, what stands in your way is not what will defeat you, but what will become the path to your success. You dare to face it and overcome it. You can choose to stand still, crushed under the weight of difficulties, or you can choose to stand up, fight, and turn that difficulty into a launching pad for your success. Choice is yours. But remember, great people are not those who do not encounter difficulties, but those who know how to turn difficulties into opportunities. So next time you encounter an obstacle, do not be discouraged. Remember, it is not the end, but the beginning of a new path. A path that only those who dare to face can continue. Make the obstacle your path, and let your life be a testament to the power of will and perseverance. Cognitive discipline is one of the core principles of Stoicism, and it is something we all need to practice if we are to overcome major challenges in life. Imagine you are faced with a crisis, a seemingly insurmountable difficulty. What would you do? Would you collapse and let fear take over your mind, or would you stand up and face it with calm and objectivity? Look at the example of John D. Rockefeller, the man who turned a financial crisis into a springboard to build of the world's largest economic empire. When the financial panic of 1857 hit, the markets collapsed. Fear was everywhere. People panicked, ran away, lost all faith in the market. But not Rockefeller. He did not see the panic as a disaster, but as a valuable opportunity to learn and grow. Can you imagine? While the whole world was in fear and anxiety, Rockefeller calmly observed, learned from the chaos. It was this cognitive discipline that enabled Rockefeller to do what very few people can. Keep a cool head, see the problem clearly, and turn difficulties into opportunity. You can do it too. It is easy to blame circumstances, to feel like a victim of events beyond your control, but that only weakens you, making you sink deeper into frustration and helplessness. On the other hand, if you learn to look at the situation calmly, objectively, and even with a little curiosity, you will discover things that others do not see. Think about the last time you encountered a problem. Did you immediately feel anxious, scared, and want to run away? If so, then it is time to practice cognitive discipline. Don't let negative emotions overwhelm your reason. Learn to look at the situation objectively. Don't just see what is happening in front of you, but dig deep into the core of the problem. Find the real cause and the opportunity hidden within. You may think this is easier said than done, and it is. But remember, no one is born knowing how to handle every situation perfectly. Even great people like Rockefeller had to learn, had to practice every day. The only difference between them and others is that they never let obstacles discourage them. They not only face difficulties but also welcome them as a friend who comes to teach them a valuable lesson. So the next time you encounter difficulties, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I looking at this problem clearly? Am I letting my emotions control me? And most importantly, what opportunities are hidden inside this obstacle? Remember, the obstacle is the path, and that path is only open to those who are brave and calm enough to move forward. No matter what happens around them, willpower, an invisible but extremely powerful force, is the fulcrum for great people to overcome all difficulties in life. Let's take a look at the life of Thomas Edison, a great inventor of mankind. When mentioning Edison, people immediately think of the electric light bulb, an invention that lit up the whole world. But how many people know that behind that bright light is a journey full of hardships and failures, and only a strong will can help him stand firm? Edison was not a natural genius. He was not the first person to come up with the idea of the light bulb, but he was the one who persevered to turn that idea into reality. Edison tested more than 6,000 different types of filaments. Platinum filaments, charcoal, to even strange materials like human hair and bamboo fibers. Each time he tried, Edison faced failure. The light bulb did not light up, filament burned out, or the weak light only flickered and then went out. But Edison never gave up. He did not get discouraged, did not give up, but on the contrary, he became more persistent, more determined. Perhaps for many people, 6,000 failures are enough to give up. But for Edison, they were just necessary steps on the road to success. He once said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." A simple but powerful quote, clearly showing the iron will of a person who never gives up in the face of difficulty. Ask yourself, if it were you, how many failures could you endure? Do you have the courage to stand up after each fall, to continue walking on the path you have chosen? Edison did it, not because he was smarter than anyone else, because he had an unshakable will. He understood that each failure was just a step closer to success. And finally, after thousands of experiments, Edison succeeded. He found the right filament, his light bulb lit up, not only lighting up his small room, but also lighting up all of humanity. The story of Edison is a great lesson about the power of will. It reminds us that there is no road to success without hardship, no achievement without perseverance and iron will. Life is not always easy, not always smooth sailing. There will be times when you feel like you are at a dead end. There will be times when you want to give up. But remember, your will is what determines who you are, where you will go. Look at Edison. Look at other great people who have faced countless difficulties but never gave up. They have proven that, as long as you have the will, you will overcome everything. Don't let any failure discourage you. Turn your will into an eternal flame. Light up the path you are on, so that one day you will also be successful like Edison. Not only lighting up your life, but also lighting up the world. Action. That is what we need to keep in mind when facing every obstacle in life. Not empty promises, not far-fetched dreams. Concrete actions, step by step, one thing at a time. You may think that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough to overcome the challenges that lie ahead. But I ask you, if you do not act, what will you do? Sit there and wait for a miracle? Or let yourself be drowned in fear, helplessness? The Stoics, people who have experienced all kinds of difficulties and challenges, they clearly understand that actions, even the smallest ones, can make a difference. Demosthenes, one of the greatest orators in history, did not become a symbol of resilience and wisdom by accident. He was not born with the gift of eloquence, nor was he blessed with natural ability. He was a child who was robbed of his family's fortune, forced to live in poverty, and faced enemies much stronger than him. But instead of giving up, instead of accepting his fate, he took action. Demosthenes did not wait for others to help him. He locked himself in a dark cellar, shaved half his head so that no one would recognize him, just to focus on practicing his oratory. He stuffed stones in his mouth, shouted loudly into the wind to practice his voice, prepare for the debates that he knew would be his only chance to get justice for his family. Don't think what he did was easy. No, it was days of sweat, tears, and pain. But he did not stop, did not give up. Every day he took action, little by little, no matter how tired or desperate he felt. Now, look at yourself. Are you struggling? Are you facing a challenge that seems insurmountable? I ask you, what will you do? Will you sit and wait? Or will you get up, take action, and break through all the barriers yourself? Demosthenes had nothing but an iron will and a determination not to give up. You can be the same if you decide to take action now. Don't wait until everything is perfect to start. Don't wait until you feel ready. You wait, you will be left behind, swept away by worries and fears that never stop. Take action, even when you are uncertain, even when you don't know if you can succeed. Because it is those actions, however small, however imperfect, that will bring you closer to your goal. Still sitting there waiting for miracles? Don't expect anything from others. Look at Demosthenes. Look at those who have overcome everything to achieve great achievements. They had nothing but perseverance and relentless action. And you can do it too if you dare to act, dare to face what is blocking your way. Stand up, start from the smallest things. And remember, every step, every action of yours is a step towards success. Don't be afraid. Don't give up, because action will be the strongest weapon to help you overcome all obstacles on the path of life. In this life, we cannot always rush head-on, hit straight into difficulties and challenges. Sometimes what is too obvious is easily defeated, while what is soft and delicate really brings success. Just like in war, it is not always necessary to have iron swords and sabers to defeat the enemy. There are strategies built on flexibility and cleverness that leave the opponent stunned and defeated without understanding why. B.H. Little Hart, a famous military strategist, once said, "The goal of war is not to destroy the enemy, but to make the enemy unable to fight anymore." Talent of a military leader does not lie in commanding soldiers to stab and slash, but in using clever strategies, deceiving the enemy, causing them to lose direction, to get lost in the matrix of unexpected move. The great confrontations in human history have proven that surprise, deceit, and cunning are the shortest paths to victory. Speaking of this, you may think, so do I have to be deceitful and cunning to win? No, deceit here is not deception, but intelligence, knowing how to choose the right path for the situation. As in martial arts, it is not always necessary to use all your strength to defeat the opponent. Sometimes, a well-timed dodge, a blow from behind, or even making the opponent lose his composure and control can lead to victory. We need to learn to approach problems flexibly, not rigidly. Life is a battlefield, but not every battlefield requires swords and fire. There are battles where you only need a cool head and a smart strategy to win. Surprise and cleverness are the most powerful weapon. Remember, people are strongest not when they rush head-on into a direct confrontation, but when they know when to dodge, when to attack, and when to deceive the opponent. In everyday life, it is the same. It is not always necessary to face the problem directly. Sometimes, taking a step back, finding another way, and circumventing difficulties will bring much better results. Like a bamboo tree in a storm, it knows how to bend with the wind, but when the storm passes, it rises straight up to the blue sky, more resilient than ever. So, always remember that bravery does not lie in how strong you are, but in how you know how to adapt, how to choose the wise path, to move forward. Don't be afraid to take a step back, to take 2 steps forward. Don't be afraid to use your mind instead of your strength. This life needs people who are flexible, know how to turn difficulties into opportunities, know when to confront, when to avoid, and that is the art of winning in life. Accept and overcome. In life, there are times when we face difficulties that seem impossible to overcome. But challenges are when a person's bravery is tested. Standing in front of the fire, we can choose to give up, or choose to fight to become stronger. That is the spirit that Stoicism advises. Accept what cannot be changed and use it as a springboard to develop, to rise. Think of Thomas Edison, the man who not only invented the light bulb, but also became a symbol of perseverance and determination. When his factory caught fire, everything was consumed in the red fire. All his hard work was gone in an instant. For many, it was the end, but Edison refused to give up. He did not complain, did not sit there regretting. Instead, he set about rebuilding from the ashes. He not only rebuilt the factory, but improved it, upgraded it, and continued on his creative path. Edison taught us a valuable lesson. Failure is only temporary, and it only truly exists if we give up. Also consider the story of James Stockdale, who spent 7 years imprisoned in harsh conditions in Vietnam. No light, no freedom, tortured both physically and mentally. He did not let those hardships break his will. Stockdale did not lose faith. He knew that life is not always easy, but it is the difficulties that give us the opportunity to understand ourselves better. To know how strong we are, he found freedom in his mind, in the ability to control his thoughts and emotions, even when physically imprisoned. You may ask yourself, how can I do like Edison or Stockdale? The simple answer is, start by changing the way you look at difficulties are not enemies, but teachers. Every time we face a challenge, it is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to rise. Instead of being afraid or running away, face it. Because strength does not come from never falling, but from knowing how to get up after each fall. You have the right to choose. Either let difficulties defeat you, or let them train you to become stronger. You can choose to sit there and complain, blaming life for its unfairness, or you can choose to take action, turning suffering into motivation to move forward. Remember, there is no glory that comes from a smooth road. The highest mountains can only be conquered by perseverance, determination, and a heart that never gives up. If you are facing difficulties, do not be discouraged. Get up, wipe away your tears, and keep going. Let difficulties be the fire that forges your will, and believe that, no matter what happens, you can always master your life. That is the spirit of Stoicism, accepting, overcoming, and becoming stronger. 3 Stoic principles: clear awareness, altruistic action, and voluntary acceptance. In your life, have you ever asked yourself, why do I feel defeated, stuck, and hopeless? Have you ever blamed the world, fate, or circumstances around you? If so, now is the time for you to look back at yourself and learn from the Stoic philosophy, a simple but powerful philosophy of life, helping people face all challenges in life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors, left us with 3 core principles of Stoicism: clear perception, altruistic action, and voluntary acceptance. These are not just empty words, but real tools for living a life worth living. Clear perception. Open your eyes and see the world clearly. First of all, you need to clearly perceive everything around you. This is not easy, because people are often fascinated by illusions, vague emotions, and thoughts. Ask yourself, what is really important? What is real? Clear perception does not mean you have to be a brilliant person. Knowing how to see things as they really are. When faced with difficulties, remember that the problem itself is not important, but how you perceive it is important. Do not let temporary emotions obscure the truth. You have the power to choose how you see things, and from there choose how you act. This may sound simple, but it is a great power that helps you master yourself. Not let life swing you in the wind. Altruistic action. Do good without anyone knowing. Continued. Stoicism does not advise you to be selfish or only care about personal interests. On the contrary, altruistic action is one of the core principles. Do good deeds not for someone to praise, not for recognition, but to contribute to making this world a better place, even if just a little. You may not be an emperor like Marcus Aurelius, but within your scope, you can still make a difference. A small action, a kind word, a sincere help, all contribute to a meaningful life. Do not expect anything in return, because altruistic actions are not about buying recognition. It is how you maintain your dignity and kindness, regardless of the circumstance. Voluntary acceptance, accepting things as they are. Finally, voluntary acceptance. Life is not always smooth. There are things you cannot change, adversities that you have to face. Voluntary acceptance is not surrender, but accepting everything with a calm mind. Acceptance does not mean that you give up, but that you understand that there are things beyond your control. Do your best, and then accept the results. This way, you will not be caught in a spiral of regret or resentment. You will learn to live peacefully, regardless of life's ups and downs. These 3 principles are not only a guideline in life, but also a challenge for each of us. Dare to look straight at the truth, dare to act for others, and dare to accept everything calmly. That is the true spirit of Stoicism. And if you can live by these principles, you will no longer be a person dragged by life, but a person who takes control of your life. Get up and start today. So which path will you choose? Will it be the easy path where you avoid difficulties and become complacent with mediocrity? Or will you choose the path of those who dare to face challenges, dare to accept obstacles as opportunities to grow and rise? The decision is yours. But remember, life is only truly meaningful when you dare to step beyond your own limits. Dare to challenge seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Get up and take action today. Don't let life decide your destiny. Take control of your life. Turn every difficulty into a launching pad to achieve brilliant successes. And if you are ready, if you really want to make a difference, continue to accompany us. We will not only overcome challenges, but also turn them into glorious victories. This is not a promise, but a call to those who dare to live, dare to dream, and dare to act. Thank you for watching the video. If you find the content useful, please leave a comment to share your thought. Do you know anything about Stoicism or have any experiences you would like to share? We look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next interesting videos. I would like to take a moment to express my deep gratitude to all of you for your incredible support and encouragement. Your continued support has made me feel truly grateful and motivated every day. I cannot express enough how important your support has been to me and how it has helped me through so many hardships. I am so appreciative and grateful that you have always been such loyal and amazing viewers. Thank you all, always being there for me and cheering me on endlessly.